csbet.gg guarantees to show the actual drop rate with precision to the hundreds. Find the best skins only in cases at csbet.gg.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a short break, but we are ready to get into our second best of one of the day. We've got forZe Esports taking on Movistar Riders. I think this one's going to be a pretty close affair, but I've got to edge it to forZe. After the predictions, I guess my name is Date Go. I'm going to be joined by Hulk. First map, he has not gone anywhere. Alex is still here, and so we're ready to get into the action on map number 2.
I was really tempted to say nothing just so that I pretended I was AFK, and then I would have screwed your whole thing up.
Yeah, but you also would have looked very unprofessional, Alex.
That's true, exactly. I am a very professional person, and we have to point out a couple of things, I think, about this matchup. The first is that forZe are playing with a stand-in. They've got Flaric instead of... Oh, God, who is it instead of? Almeza, that's the one. So they are playing with a stand-in, but I still think forZe might have a bit too much for Movistar to handle. Either way, we're into Inferno. Movistar starting on the T side with 2 sets of nades.
Well, Flaric boosted on up. That grenade is going to land just beyond them, so it doesn't really do anything of interest. Movistar starting to put a couple more players towards bananas. They start to slither on up towards the top. The fights will ensue. It's Flaric to pick up the first kill and actually back his way inside the sandbags. Look for a little bit more, but Z-Part steps up. Kills coming in for all of them here. 2 on Z-Part, 2 on Flaric, and it's all on Lowell. Or Lowell. A lot of different ways you could say his name, I guess. What do you go with, Alex? We're on the same page.
Lowell, I think.
Lowell? We'll go with Lowell. It's easier to say.
The former Penta player back in, I think it was it 2016 now? Yeah, back ages ago. I realised that for me, he's a known name, but for some people, they might not know that he was on international teams. But unfortunately for Lowell, all of the hyping up we did of him won't help him out. He will go down. Flaric definitely doing his job as the stand-in early, gets 2 kills on that banana hold, and forZe not having too tough of a time on that B hold. And I think that's going to be one of the real big advantages for forZe, is that they have a lot of skilled players throughout this lineup.
Yeah, there's a lot of it. Like, forZe are a team that a lot of people sleep on. I know that's kind of a meme now, but a lot of people do sleep on this team because obviously, like, oh, no, I haven't heard of them, right? But they're a really old organization. I mean, they've been around, they're OGs, and they also perform really well in the leagues they're in. And they just don't really get that many opportunities to show it. I think they're like top of MDL, or at least are up there near the top. They beat Ents pretty recently on it, pretty convincingly in the MDL. They're definitely a very good team. Back in sort of December, they played at that PLG event, and they played very well against Fnatic. So they can definitely put up some good fights and end up winning some maps against some pretty good teams. So definitely don't sleep on this team. But Jeremy's going to pick up 2 kills. Flaric gets 1 as well. Makes all able to drop Flash with the Glock. Probably a bonus here at this point. We'll get the UMP picked up, and they kind of know where he is. They have an inkling of where he could be, and that Flash will kill him.
Good job by forZe to deny any bomb plants from Movistar Riders. But the Spaniards will be able to buy into round number 3. And we've been talking about forZe a lot, but it's also worth mentioning that Movistar Riders have definitely been in a bit of uptick, I would say, in terms of their recent form. They've been looking pretty good. They recently beat Wendigo, and one of those map wins was on Inferno. So that's definitely a good result to have. But at the same time, forZe love Inferno. Other than Mirage, this is probably forZe's second best map, and I think that's another one of the problems for Movistar, because even though the Spanish team are also good on this map, forZe really do like a bit of Inferno, and they will be very, very comfortable here today. Banana control coming through, and Movistar will try and fight for it. Mopoz going alone through the smoke, and he will be deciding to fall back. So both teams playing it a little safe on Banana.
The bomb has been picked up, and they're ready to go over towards one side of the map. It's looking like the A bomb site is the map they want to pressure. And there's currently 3 players here from forZe, so that can cause some problems to arise. We have a player inside the pit. The second one is there as well. This could be a very good hold from the CTs. All the utility being used up by Movistar. They're going to take a little bit of damage towards the top mid one. And Molotov short is going to force Flit to fall back in towards the site and actually give away his position.
Not a bad nade from FaceCrack. Mixwell down to half health before the push can come through, and the time is slowly but surely ticking away. 33 seconds for Movistar to make their move, and they will group back up towards B. And they have the 2 smokes they would need. If they wanted to smoke CT and Ruins, they have the option to do that, which is nice for them. But the information gathered, however, Flarich falls, and now it's all on Jerry on this hold. He could be in trouble.
Well, there goes Jerry with the first kill, the second coming in as well, as Jerry will pick up the headshot onto Mixwell, as Melpos and Lowell into a 2v3. Bomb has been planted, but this retake is looking very possible. The only problem here for the CTs is they haven't got utility to force them out of those angles, and so they will just have to take the fights. Molpos needs to be careful that he doesn't overextend, and that's exactly what will happen. FaceCrack able to drop him. Lowell gets 1 kill back, but he's finished off as well. 3-0 start here for forZe. Bomb plant is there, along with 3 kills from Movistar. Their money should be okay here for perhaps a buy. They could go for the full buy, Alex. They just will lack utility. They also could have another option to go for the half buy and leave some money in the reserve. But this is definitely a great start from forZe. And Inferno, if you're thinking about forZe, and if you watch a little bit of forZe, they are a very good Inferno team. They perform very well on this, so it's starting to look pretty scary for Movistar.
Yeah, like I was saying, I think this is probably the second best map for forZe, so they will be very comfortable here, especially having gained the early lead. I like this decision from Movistar. I think I would do the same here. You can go for pistol armor, get quite a few nades together, try and see if you can overwhelm an opponent up close. Definitely an option to do so in towards the apartments or banana, and then once you find yourself a rifle, there are plenty more options available to you. Unfortunately for Movistar, though, forZe will not be making any early mistakes. No opportunities for the T's to take any guns away as of yet. Although Jerry is close by on banana. If he's not careful, he could be in trouble here as the players are about to push towards him. And a great opening from Mopos. That could be the difference maker.
Yeah, well, Mopos does find Jerry and they start to push in towards the site. Here it is, Movistar. A lot of pace being built up here, and Mixwell is going off a kill on the CZ. The bomb goes right through the fire and flames and will get planted just above the coffins. It's got to be a 3v5 retake, or perhaps the more realistic call here is to save.
Mixwell nestles himself in the corner. The flashbang will not connect. Flit will fall. And I think that should settle this round. 1 kill from FaceCrack. Mixwell also goes down, but the time is too far gone. Mopos was waiting round the corner. Doesn't decide to take the fight. I think he will be fine to save the AUG, though, and Movistar will be on the board with their first round win. They might not get to save too much, though. They've only got 2 survivors right now, and they will continue to push in towards CT spawn. FaceCrack could have fought. Actually, another man dies to the bomb. It's only 1 gun saved for Movistar, and while their money is fine for now, that could be a problem in the long run.
Pause coming through. It's going to be a T-side pause coming in. It's looking like a tactical, but we haven't really got too much confirmation on that. But with the current landscape and scenario we're in, it's most likely it is going to be that tactical pause coming through. And Movistar are going to pick up the rifles here. Mixwell should go into the AWP. You have seen him be a main opera a lot in the past, but he's very good on the rifles. I feel like he was kind of forced in the op role in a lot of the teams he played in, and because of that, obviously, he's very, very proficient on the weapon. And I think, you know, the key ingredients for having a really solid star player is someone that can do everything well, you know, who can wield that op and the rifles, the grid avail on both weapons, and also just kind of do any role, essentially. But it'll be interesting to see whether Mixwell can keep up the high octane style of play up against forZe here. We have got themselves another buy throwing right at Movistar Riders.
And speaking of adaptability for star players, I think most people would say that Z-Power is probably the best player on forZe. He's probably their star player, and he is orphaned for the CT side as well. So Good point you made there with the star players oftentimes liking to, take those AWPs as well, liking to be versatile, giving their team more options to work with. And it looks like both authors will not be getting too aggressive early on into this one. Mixwell just holding it down mid. And Movistar Riders starting to look towards Banana. They found success towards B in the last round, but this time there are 3 CTs waiting for them.
Oh no. Hopeless needs to be careful. A couple players about to walk around the corner, but Mixwell has the angle. Z-Potter drop. Jerry will pick him up back. And it's Alex to pick up kill onto Jerry. Flourish will answer back as well. So it's still a 3v3. It's even across the board, but Flourish is under so much pressure here as they start to push into the site. He's still alive, so that's allowed for time and rotation for FaceCrack to come in. And Flash has actually got himself a kill. Mixwell, oh, lol, able to find that one. That could have been Mixwell dropping, but Mixwell will pick up the kill. All on Flit, UMP. I'm going to retake against 2 players. It's just looking unlikely here. Movistar Riders most likely picking up 2. Flit doesn't even have a kit. That rhymes.
I was trying to think of another rhyme to add on to your rhyme, but I couldn't, unfortunately. I'm not a rap god like you, Dinko. It is Flit in the 1v2, though. Upgrades to the AK and loses his life for it. Mixwell ready around the corner. Movistar get their 2nd round win on the board, and Flourish did his best on the hold there. Considering the early trades kind of started to look like they were going against forZe, Flourish did a pretty solid job at bringing it into a 3v3, slowing them down by falling back to the bomb site. But even though he allowed the rotation to come through, unfortunately his teammates couldn't really help him out. And so eventually Flourish got caught on the site. So once again, the stand-in doing his job, I would say. Unfortunately, though, the rest of forZe not able to step up around him, and sadly, that means the CIS side will be on almost a full eco in this round, a $900 investment in those 3 P250s.
Well, running towards the top, Banana, it is Mopos and Alex. As an information gatherer against these pistols, and he's pushed all the way up towards the top of Banana. There's only 1 player here, and that's Jerry on the P250 inside of CT spawn. I believe he's up on the boost. Let's have a look. No, he's not. He's just below it, and Alex has found his head. Great opening kill there for Movistar, and that will cause some problems as forZe all over towards A. They go for the fast mid push, but Soccer and LOL able to line them all up. And it's on Split on his own 1v4. Happy away over the P250. Just can't quite find anything. And that will be 3-3. Interesting enough, though, Alex, you're kind of starting to see a lot of the sort of domestic teams starting up again, like ENCE, obviously the full finish roster, started to find some success there. We see the Norwegian team starting to be built up. A while ago, and there was quite a bit of hype about with Mixwell going back to Spain. Obviously, it had a little stint in G2 before that, and it's gone back to Spain, and obviously hasn't really done too much, like notable. So this would be a great time for like Movistar to perhaps even get to a big event. IM Sydney, again, that is what the winners of this tournament get. Spot at that tournament.
Push down mid and Banana. 2 kills come through right at the start of the round. Follow-up frags coming in favor of forZe. It's into a 4 versus 2. And while Movistar might have a clear path to that A bomb site, they've got to overcome this 2-man disadvantage, which will not be an easy task.
Oh, low. Down as the site already. Smokes off long. And this is where the retake from forZe needs to come in. Movistar going to toss a Molotov up towards short. They have yet to commit. Alex thought there was a player in behind him. That's cost him so much time. Eventually, it will cross over to the side, but they're all about to barrel through long.
Oh my God.
Lol could get the lineup. Are they going to boost over the top of the smoke? No, they're just going to run down the ball. That's a great kill from Lol. He lines up 2. Alex gets 1. It's all on Flit. 1 versus 1, and he wins it. A big pickup for forZe, but that came so close. Somehow, Movistar made it competitive towards the end of that round.
It looked like someone was like the drill sergeant for forZe there, just lining them all up in the smoke, telling them to go over the top of the trenches and just run out to their death. and then Flit manages to come out of it with the round win. So maybe it was Flit telling his teammates to run out so he could win the round. Who the hell knows? But all we can say is that it ended up working for them. Even though they all funneled in from the same angle, they managed to get the trades they needed. And what a round win from forZe. They will be delighted with that one. Brings them back into the lead and puts them in a position where they could have the opportunity to break the T-side economy. Mopos once again alone on this banana aggression, and Alex taking early damage through the wall. He's down to 14 health early on, and unfortunately for Mopos, he is dead early on.
Oh, Mixwell, that's a good kill on the AWP for a second, just can't quite get it, so Flash is able to fall away. That'll be the 4v4. Mixwell does a good job to get that trio back and keep his team in it. I was looking at the odds there from GG.BET. They were brought up on screen, and actually, interestingly enough, they're favouring Movistar by quite a bit.
Maybe it is that stand-in factor.
Yeah, perhaps that is a factor that could really play into this. I think Inferno is probably one of those maps you're going to see a lot of excitement and a close game between these two teams, because generally in a best of one, you don't get to play your best map. It's always a map both teams are all right on. You know, it's a map they're both willing to play. Luckily for forZe, it's probably up there. And I would say for Movistar, it's a pretty good map for them as well. We've seen them in the past play in a couple of tournaments. We've seen them play pretty well in them. So Inferno, definitely a map they can play as well. So shaping up to be a good game, and Movistar shaping up for an A execute.
Yes, indeed. FaceCrack is in towards the pit, but he is quickly traded out. And with his teammate dying in towards A long, forZe will be forced to save. Nothing they can do about this one. Mixwell will get that bomb down. And, well, we've been talking about forZe quite a lot. You said that they were second in MDL, actually. They're just behind Vitality, which is understandable. But Movistar have also been a bit of an up-and-coming team in MDL. They finished 5th in MDL in the regular season, so not doing too bad for themselves either. And definitely both these teams have been winning some games online, so it's not like it would be a crazy result if Movistar got the win here, especially considering forZe have that stand-in. But I think I still edged this over to forZe just because I thought they would have the firepower advantage. But we're starting to see some of these Movistar players show up as, okay, yeah, just died to the bomb, why not?
Could have got on his head. Would have survived probably. I think he was too low HP anyway.
Yeah, I think he was like 10 HP. I think he's done for whatever.
But yeah, I think also the interesting part from when I have watched forZe have some successful showings on Inferno, it's generally been the CT side where they find a lot of the multi kills, a lot of shutdowns, and really haven't done that yet. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep that up. Towards the A-bomb side is definitely where I've seen a lot of their sort of CT success in the past. So it'll be interesting to see if Movistar kind of steer away from that. Obviously, they had some success in that last one. This time, forZe don't really have too much money across the board, so their buy is going to be missing a couple of pieces.
And what? Talking about the international teams you were talking about earlier, we are seeing more teams go back to their regions, I think.
Yeah.
Like, the best international team, FaZe, everyone was super excited for. Then outside of that, I'm looking down the rankings. The next highest team is probably Cloud9 down in 12th.
My sports
the international
sides
have not. Yeah, they will rise eventually. It just seems like we thought maybe that we'd see a lot more of these international teams as time went on. That's what I was kind of expecting back in like 2017, 2018, but it's not really happened. It seems like the regional teams are working pretty well for most squads.
Yeah, I feel like, especially the way CS is, we'll come back to the point, because I feel like it's going to be a push in towards the apartments. Plenty of players here on the CT side. To get messy, that's FaceCrack moving in. The bomb is there as well. FaceCrack moves in with a Swag 7 skin. And it's going to be the bomb picked up as they move all the way back. They're going to have to tuck up to him, run back towards the B side. But Flash is waiting with the AUG in a bit of an off angle. You don't really expect him to be here. So it's probably going to be good for one kill. And at this point, I think forZe have realized they've ran away from the A site. And they're going to have to hold in towards the B bomb site. Utility being used out. Flash over the top gets the kill onto Mop as Jerry gets the trade back. And it's into a 4v2. Onto the bomb site. Movistar run, and the bomb will get planted. 4v2 retake is just unlikely. Mixwell is going to have to do a lot of work here in the close angle.
Lowell uses his molly early to try and slow the CTs down. I thought he might save that for later, but Mixwell takes the fight in CT. Has to turn back around. There. Lowell wins the fight, but it's all up to him. He's down to 28 health, and they know where he is. Lowell falls back well. Flash over the top, but the damage is not quite there. Face crack should have time for the defuse, and the time came fairly close at the end there, but forZe do a solid job trading out on that retake.
Yeah, so opening the book back again to talk about the international point. I feel like, especially the way CS is, where you're at the top level, you're kind of traveling all the time and you're away from home for months. It's really important that you have like the chemistry in the team, and a lot of the different cultures have different ways of doing things, different languages. They never grew up with the same stuff, so it's probably hard to get along with them, and having, you know, a good team atmosphere is probably difficult after those long and strenuous travel times.
Definitely. And that's something that you don't hear talked about anywhere near enough, because you kind of just think of them as players. You almost don't think of them as humans sometimes, but there is always that personal aspect you have to think about, which is definitely a problem for some teams. Definitely can be heightened if you are on an international squad. Maybe your English isn't even your first language. There can be problems that arise there, so that's definitely a good point. But Movistar try and move in towards B. Mixwell gets the opening kill. Flaric holding from the back of the site. Again, solid work from him towards B. Flick gets one of his own with the AUG, and Flaric is going to have to hold them off a little bit longer, waiting for the rotate to come in. Z-Power just goes through the smoke, and it's all on Soka. He will fall. Great aggression from Z-Power there to make sure there was no chance of that bomb plant, and forZe remain on top.
Yeah, they do a very good job indeed. Movistar are going to pull out the AKs. And this is where we're starting to see forZe start to get those shutdowns going. The CT side starting to look much better and more solid. And that's the type of forZe we expect to see come through. Of one of the Movistars, it's going to be the AKs. No AWP in the hands of Mixwell this time. Instead, he is going to have plenty of utility to wield. He's going to start to charge towards Mexico.
Well, you can't call it Mexico. We're not in NA.
What do we call here? Underpass?
Sewers or underpass? Or,
I think we called it. I think it's just in matchmaking. A lot of people only know to call Mexico for some reason. I kind of got used to saying that. But I guess it's not really nice to say either, is it?
I think it's just I always just thought it's called Mexico because Mexico is below America, so that's like on the map. So that's why I thought America. There's
more like not very nice meaning behind the tunnel.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, perhaps it's not wise to perhaps call it Mexico. Right,
I always remember when Thorin made the joke about Frenchies liking being down in the sewers because they're little rats. That was an interesting one.
That was.
He said it in a nicer way than that. Okay, it was banter. It was banter. You all know it's good banter. Mixwell, caught by the molly, decides to fall back, and also winning these opening fights once again. The Molotov is good, and Mixwell nails the shot through the smoke. But there is still more work left to be done for Movistar Riders.
Well, 35 seconds left. 2 players over towards the A bomb site, 2 in towards B for forZe. And Movistar are starting to be stretched and spread thin here because they haven't got too much utility. They've got a smoke and a flash left. And generally when you have one smoke left and you're in a disadvantage on the T side of Inferno, you want to use that smoke for CT and the flash in towards the B bomb site and just hope you can win the aim fights. Problem is, they haven't really been able to win the aim fights towards B. Finally, they will get the trade, but do they expect the second player? With 10 seconds left, they're going to neglect to check the angle. He's going to swing wide. He's going to deny that bomb plant, and there's just not enough time to get it done. Soka falls. Flit steps up with 2. Perfect plays from him from the back of the site. It's 7-4 on the board as forZe starting to pick up pace here on the CT side.
You've got to love that patience from Flit. I think even I could have got that kill onto the bomb planter there. Just completely outbrained his opponent. Did not need to aim him down whatsoever. When the opponent's got a bomb out, they can't really shoot back at you. And Flit played it very well there. Smart plays to win the round with ease. Movistar starting to fall behind a little bit now. They've got themselves a few pistols into this round. Looks like they want to try and See if they can find something in towards banana, or maybe in towards mid, where Z-Power was willing to fight them. In fact, yes, the push will come in towards top mid. Z-Power holding here with the AWP. They will get up close towards him. Z-Power has the assistance. That's what he needed. Flits behind him with the rifle to keep him safe. And I think that should be good for the CTs. Indeed, the cleanup looks pretty easy at this point.
Yeah, well, they did lose one player at least, so there's the pickup there from Movistar. 8-4 already confirmed themselves at least a 1-run lead going into the second half. And obviously forZe will want to make sure that they get a little bit more than that. I'll pull up the odds and have a look at GG.BET to see how they have shifted. And they have definitely shifted out. It's 1.97 for forZe, still favouring Movistars at a 1.77. So definitely starting to close the gap here, forZe. Rightly so. They all have shifted a little bit more. So good to see forZe in the game. And Movistar, they're gonna come right into this with the AWP in the hands of Mixwell and the rifles there as well. So they start to charge on in. It's an early kill coming in from Jerry with a flashbang assist from Flit. So now they know there's at least 2 players in behind the wall.
Second flash assist from Flit. Seems to be supporting his team well in this round. And they have been slowed down tremendously towards...
I find the flash assist, well, come back to that point, as Mixwell just traded onto Flourish, but I feel like the flashbang assist lingers for a little bit. It doesn't go immediately for some reason, and so that he had 1 flash left, so he'd only used 1 flash, and even though he was unflashed, it's still giving him the assist. So interesting. But it will be a 2v4 retake coming in here. It's likely to happen, but LoL and Soaker need to step up.
We've seen these 4v2 retakes go the way of forZe in the past. They've traded out well previously, and you can see Lowell is looking for an angle, looking for an opening, trying to find something in this one. But all of forZe coming in from ruins, other than face crack in from CT. Time is ticking. Soaker gets another kill. He's stuck at the back of the site, and he will go down. There should be time for the defuse. forZe take it close once again. The bomb very close this time, but they keep on grinding out these round wins. Even though they are conceding those bomb plants towards B fairly often, it's not been too big of a problem for them, as they are still getting the round wins.
They are indeed, and Movistar is starting to really struggle here. They had great signs of life at the start of this matchup, and the start of this half, in fact, and everything has just crumbled. It's looking so much better here for the CIS team. And we move into this one. It's the AWP in the hands of Z-Power, and that is going to be an interesting one to watch. Z-Power is definitely a player that has a high skill ceiling. He's going to start to peek towards middle with the assistance of Flip. The flashbang is perfect. They line up 3 kills quickly for the CT side. 1 comes back, and Z-Power will trade. All on LoL, and just like that, it's over for Movistar. It will be double figures here for forZe. And LoL, I think it's save time. Even though loss bonus is at its peak, you're not going to win this. I'm a pessimist, yeah. Alex.
It's probably worth just having a look around, because forZe are likely to push out. I mean, you can see the players push down Banana. You could maybe catch out Flourish, and then it's slightly more doable. You've got some nades. I don't know. I'm trying to sell the clutch attempt here, but it's hard to sell this one, Dinko. Even a master salesman could not sell me on LoL winning this one.
You ever seen those YouTube videos of like those master salesmen? How good they are at sales. It's pretty cool. I've seen like a compilation of like some guy just comes to the door and like this guy's completely uninterested in buying like gardening products or something, and he just sells him a lawnmower, clippers, and like by the end of it he's buying everything. Wish I had that ability of manipulation and persuasion, Alex. You could sell anything.
Yeah. Do you want me to sell you those hay bales on the screen there? What about that moped? Do you want that moped, Dink?
I actually would take that
it's
moped.
Orange, lovely color.
You can take the bicycle.
Yeah, I mean that. I'm probably safer on the bike, so I think that's fair enough. To be honest.
Have you ever seen the? Have you ever heard of the sort of cult? Not really a cult, but it's like a culture, I guess. It's like the mod culture. It's basically the guys with the Lego brick haircuts, and they listen to the Who and everything. I was stuck behind a scooter, like they were on a scooter run, and I was just stuck behind them all on mopeds, just hundreds of them in one big line. It was like a giant conga train of mopeds, like Human Centipede Moped Edition.
I didn't know the mods were still about, to be honest. I thought
There's
that was more
loads
of a
of
like
them. Loads
80s
of them.
or 90s thing.
Loads of them. There's a guy who used to live a couple of doors up from me in my street who's a mod. Guy in my class in school, his dad's a mod. But I think they're all like 40. But they do raise their kids up to sort of enjoy it. A lot of them don't do it, but they still exist.
Maybe one day we'll raise our kids up to be Counter-Strikers.
Perhaps.
Oh god, the thought of you having kids, Dinko, is not a thought I want to have right now. You know what, Movistar,
Me neither.
We've got the SMGs in play, and Inferno is definitely a map where you can put those SMGs to use. So it's not awful for Movistar. They only have the 2 AKs into the last round of the half, and it definitely feels like forZe are taking a pretty dominant scoreline right now. They've really just run away with this game in the last 5 or so rounds, Dinko.
Oh. Taps whizzing past Mopers. It will be Movistar taking control of the apartments with 3 players up there and 2 towards the bottom of Banana as they start to move on up. It's the Mac 10 clearing the angles. Make sure it is clear. And Jerry is jumping across over the half wall. I don't think he was spotted. The smoke did cover him off and shroud him in mystery. I got a shroud mouse mat, like, did you see it?
No.
Check my Twitter. I uploaded of media. And anybody else in chat who's interested to see my shrine mouse mat, check out my Twitter as well at DinkoTV. But anyway, get back into this one. It's Movistar to mix and match by. They've got an AK on Soaker and not much utility there, but there's enough to get the execute done in towards B. And every time they've went B, Alex, it hasn't ended too great for them. I mean, sometimes they get on the site, but it's just holding on to it becomes the problem.
Yeah, Movistar have gone back to B round after round and not found too much success from it. I think it's fair to say they've definitely moved towards the B side. And Cherry tries to go through. Flaric gets a couple of kills, but it's into a 3 versus 3, and these trades are much better for Movistar. A bit of damage done through the wall, but it's Alex to take down Flit, and forZe have to go for this retake with it being the last round. But a 2v3 retake on B is never an easy one to do.
That was a little bit of an interesting play from Jerry, to say the least. Running right through the smoke as the execute came in towards B. Kind of unlucky on the timing, but still a questionable play nonetheless. But that's the first kill from Face Crack for forZe as they run back into the site. Soaker steps up. It's all on Z part, and he can't get it done. It's Soaker to drop him, finishes off for the triple kill, and gives 5 to Movistar Riders as you move into the second half. I feel like this scoreline is definitely easier to come back from. 11-4, and with a pistol pickup, they're right back in it.
Not completely out of the question. You can see on the scoreboard, though, forZe have been really working well as a unit. And I think that's what I was worried about as being the big difference maker between these two teams. I think that Movistar have a couple of really skilled players. You know, Mixwell, Lowell, Alex are all really skilled. But I think forZe across the entire team have got maybe a bit more skill across the board. And that kind of showed throughout that first half. Let's see if it carries through into the second half as forZe are looking to try and take this pistol round win. Face Crack with a full set of nades. And the same can be said for Mopos on the CT side. No defuse kit in play, and forZe instantly move up Banana.
Yeah, fast playing towards B this time, keeping the pace up as they move right through the smoke. It's Flip trying to open things up. He gets the headshot. It's Alex who actually drew first blood, but it's traded back and kept within the 4v4. And Flip finally follows up alongside Z-Pod. So this is looking brilliant from forZe. They win the pistol without much of a challenge. Lol, the last man standing between them, and he's finished off as well. 11-5 here. forZe start off the second half perfectly. Now they just need to convert that pistol win and get themselves charging towards a pretty dominant scoreline.
We've seen Flit be fairly supportive in some of the positions he's played in terms of throwing the flashes for the teammates. He's got quite a few flash assists. He also has the most enemies flashed, but he's top of the scoreboard right now for forZe as well. This goes to show that he is really doing a lot for this team. And Movistar Riders will try to take the force buy into this round. Desperate times call for desperate measures. They're looking to try and do whatever they can with the pistols in this one. Mixwell also has the scout, which is worth mentioning, holding an incredibly tight angle in towards mid. I would definitely not have the reactions for this one. Hopefully Mixwell does, though. Another tight angle from Soka as well.
I think also, if you don't have the reactions, it's still a pretty good angle because you get the info. You can set up ready for it. But there's FizzCrack, Flit, opening things up in towards the A bomb site. And it is on Mixwell, Mopus, and Alex. 3v5, retake. It's not going to happen. It's the save call back over towards B. They've just got to hang on to whatever they've got here. The force buy doesn't really work out. Force, perfect. Again, it's going to be 12. Definitely expecting a closer affair than this.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the one big anomaly on the scoreboard is Mopos down there at 1 for 14, not having the greatest of games. His ADR isn't too bad, honestly. He's got 37 ADR. Like, for 1 kill, that's not too bad. But there we go. He's got his 2nd kill now. Just as I was speaking, I give him the good luck he needed to put another kill on the board. forZe don't really need to hunt this. I mean, Jerry's just pushed through, lost his Galil. Maybe a bit of a mistake. I wouldn't have minded FaceCrack pushing with the Mac 10 because he's got less to lose. But they end up giving away a Galil. Luckily, it doesn't get recovered by Movistar. But, oh well, forZe get the round win anyway. I don't think they'll be too bothered about losing a weapon or two.
Well, it is a very scary picture if you're a Movistar player and a fan. Because this is starting to look very one-sided indeed for the CIS team. They will try and start things off again with an early bit of damage done on the Mixwell towards top mid. Grenades land in between them. And they kind of damage him, not too much. Ability being thrown on over it. It's going to push in from forZe. Towards A apartments. FaceCrack coming down towards the lower parts of the stairs. Has got himself a Mac 10. He's ready to start to bombard this A bomb site. There's FizzCrack running around the corner. Mixwell waiting. The push is coming. He knows it. He smells it, Alex. Flit has an odor that Mixwell wants to kill. It's not going to happen. He's going to back away. Very slow and anticlimactic round here. forZe. Eventually the climax will be hit, and it's going to be Soka to try and open things up. There's the headshot on the USP. Z-Par pulls it back again. And it's going to be this A push most likely from forZe, but with time still relatively high, they have plenty of options.
Soka on the site will be overrun. forZe indeed wrap on towards A. And Mixwell was holding A long, but just could not find the angle to put that scout to use. And FaceCrack ends up taking his face off. Up to Mopos. Might as well see what you can do. Might as well look for a kill or two. He's got the scout in his hands now, and he's just scoped in. So that may have given away his position. A couple of players looking his way. They don't seem too aware of it. But forZe are much more focused on saving their guns anyway. Mopos might find an angle. But realistically, it's not going to make a massive difference. Oh, yeah. Could be a knife. No.
Just charging in with the Mac 10. Z-Par wants the kills on the Mac. He gets himself the triple. He's a big Mac. Oh, Alex.
The Mac Daddy. Some might call him.
Well, it is going to be 13-5. Here we go. Movistar to buy coming in. It's the Augs and play across the board with 3 players, LOL, Alex, and Mixwell. That's another talking point. They have been changed in price, but probably see them just as much. Obviously, not as much because you can't afford them as much, but when you can afford them, they do come through.
Early damage onto Z-Power. He's down to half health with that AWP. Mixwell not going to throw the smoke into top mid. Decides to fall back towards the site. Fairly passive hold across the map from Movistar Riders, especially in towards A. They're completely giving up brackets control, which definitely gives forZe quite a few options. Limits the information the CTs will have, as LOL takes a fairly risky drop down, considering he was low on health. Doesn't take any full damage, though. He is down on 4 health, though, so that's a bit of a problem for Movistar. But at least they haven't lost the opening kill.
Well, Soka's going to pick up 2. That's great, but Flourish pulls it right back. Those 2 kills that really could have given Movistar a chance have just been neutralized. Flourish, brilliant plays from him. And now under pressure is LOL in behind Graveyard. They're not going to check him just yet, though. 24 HP, 1 bullet goes through and he's done. But only 1 bullet was needed and he will be finished eventually. But he picks up 2 kills before that. Alex will get 1 as well. And Movistar hits 6. Well played by Law there. Incredible stuff from him. Just to hide behind Graveyard under so much pressure. Peek out and find 2 kills. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch if he just played the headshot angle after hearing the steps or just swung out wide. I mean, either, whatever he did was clearly a good decision there because he was just waiting patiently. He knew where the opponents were. It basically guaranteed him a kill while he was low on health, which is really useful in that spot. And maybe it was a bit of a risk. Maybe a nade could have come his way, but you kind of have to take a risk when you're that low on health. We've got the AWP in the hands of Z Power, but other than that, it's pistols for the rest of the team. They've got Deegs, though, so they definitely can take long-range fights if they so desire. And Movistar have got SMGs in play.
This is really nice to see from forZe. Even in this position, they know they've got this sort of state of mind where they go, okay, we can just sort of buy a couple of deagles around this AWP, and yeah, we still stand a chance of winning this, but we don't break the bank, and we'll still have a lot of money moving into the next, and we have such a big buffer we can afford to do this. So I really like this decision. Z-Par is such an impactful player. He could really get enough kills here to turn the whole round in their favor. It's got to come down to this engagement, though. Mixwell, Pika's advantage. Does it happen? No. Mixwell picks up Z-Par. The angle is held well. Mixwell's hungry for some more, but I wouldn't really peek into that if I were on the force side. But Flourish again, 2 kills. That's it. Charging into B. Straight away they go, and the rotations are coming through from the CTs immediately.
Bit of an ill-advised push from Alex there. I think he went through the smoke. Mixwell gets a kill with the AWP. Flip finds the trade. And the bomb will be planted. Face crack will just delay towards mid. Finally, Lowell takes him down, but it's all up to Lowell. They know exactly where he's coming from. Flit will hold true with the AWP. 14-6 for forZe. And Movistar are in trouble once again. Just 2 rounds away from victory over on the forZe side. And it feels like they're just outclassing their opponents a bit right now. Yeah,
a couple of things happened that round that can pretty much end the game for me. You know, it's not the AWP that gets the kills there. It's just Flourish taking those 2 kills easy. The mistake made opens up the B bomb site, and then Flick gets the last 3. But that round, that type of round win, gives so much energy and hope and success to forZe, and kind of the opposite to Movistar. He's just like, why have we lost that round? You know, that could have been our way back into this game. And as soon as you throw something like that away, I think that's just when your mentality just shatters into a million pieces, and it's most likely we'll see forZe take this game. Although Movistar have gone for just the pistol upgrade here with a little bit of utility, they've left enough money in the bank to get the buy moving into the last round of regulation, possible last round, should I say. So they've got to try and fight for overtime, essentially, if they end up losing this one.
CT and the T basically put the same smoke down in towards A long, interestingly enough. Mixwell and Mopos, though, the only 2 survivors for the time being. Mixwell going through the smoke. The timing is just right for him to get 1 frag for free. Unfortunately, Face Crack is up close, and Mixwell gets baited in by the AWP. Ends up costing him his life, and Mopos will start to rotate towards A. Holding this angle is Face Crack, who will close it out with a quad kill. And forZe just 1 round away from a rather dominant victory here on Inferno.
Yeah, it's been really solid from forZe ever since, you know, the first couple of rounds, that first half. We just started going back and forth, but after that, forZe just stepped up and they've looked very solid on Inferno. And the CT side was very one-sided. Obviously, Movistar got 1 at the end of the half and put it to 5. Moving into the second, they have only won 1 since, and that was just a sporadic round, and they ended up losing the following to pistols. So things have looked good for forZe, but here's a chance for Mixwell on the edge. Not really expecting that. There's no way you do. It's Mixwell picking up Z-Part. That'll be another kill from Mixwell. Perfectly plays this one, and it's the type of player you really need to step up for your team if you're Movistar, is the likes of Mixwell in these crucial scenarios.
forZe are responding with a little bit of aggression of their own. Face Crack has started to take control of top mid. He was looking for a pick back. Doesn't seem like Movistar are offering up any fights though, and there's no need for them to right now. They can just happily hold back, knowing that they have the lead in this round. The nades starting to come in towards the A site. That may allow the bomb to go down safely, but there are players in pit that are the problem. 2 kills come through. LOL gets 1 kill back, but the trades are solid from forZe. They're going to get the bomb down in a 2v2, and this has just gone horribly wrong for Movistar.
I have no idea how this has happened, but it's all on FaceCrack in a 1v2. The bomb ticking for him, but Mixwell finds it. It's a triple from him as he saves Movistar Riders from going down 16-6. They will stand another chance, and it might just be life support, but Mixwell at least is there to keep them alive. And defuse will come through. The money is not going to be great on a lot of these players here on the CT side, though. They're going to rely on drops from Mixwell and Mopus over there, and that means lack of utility. And money is pretty good from forZe after, you know, bringing that into a 2v1 and getting that bomb planted. And obviously with their success prior to that. So they're going to have a lot of money here. Full buys through. Their buy is looking better than Movistar's. But Movistar's isn't that bad. It's still a good buy. It's just got a couple of weaknesses.
I think if they could win here, then they would probably be able to establish that money much better. But now they will be left with a couple of weaknesses, as you pointed out. Those 2 AWPs in play will be holding on opposite sides of the map. Mixwell over towards A, while Alex's AWP is trying to take control of B, and the early nades seem to have done some decent damage there. forZe look like they want to contest that banana control. They want to start to force Movistar back, and it seems like they may have done enough. The CT is starting to move back to the B site. Another nade comes through, though. forZe taking banana control, but not without damage being done to them.
Oh. AWP ringing off. Perhaps they think that's Mixwell. The problem is they've got 2 AWPs here on Movistar. They've got to deal with here on forZe. 53 seconds. Rotations over towards B from the CTs. They've currently got 3 players there. Mixwell is over towards the A site with his AWP, and he's off towards the cubby beside the library. He can rotate between both angles pretty quickly. And so, forZe, they can make the decision to go back towards A with all 5 players, and this is the perfect time to do it because that 3rd player that Movistar have rotated over towards B has gone back towards A. So now there's only 2 players on B, but this is the perfect call from Movistar. Oh, what is happening now? It's just back and forth we go. It's like the triple fake. As they push in towards A, there's only 2 players on the CT side. As that 3rd player, Soaker, has just been rotated in between B and A. And finally, we'll have to make a stand on the A bomb side. Mixwell steps up. Law gets 2. Make it nearly 3. As Jerry will fall. No. Jerry gets 2, but the bomb can't get planted. He needs to stay alive at this point. Otherwise, there's no money. Oh, my God. How does Jerry stay alive there, Alex?
Oh, just about holds on to the AK. I don't know if they really had the time to make that call to go back towards A, though. You see, it's almost panic stations as they run onto the A site, having to clear so many angles. They needed a really clean A site take to get that bomb down safely. And as soon as those couple of kills come in from Lowell on the site itself, he basically won them the round right there because the time was so incredibly low. So well played by Movistar to not fall for the fake too heavily. The 2 players on A are enough to hold that site off. And with forZe only having the 1 AK into round 24, their chances seem low. They'll send Jerry in first. This AK looking for a crisp, clean headshot. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to find one, though, as Movistar are playing it pretty passive. Touched up banana, though. They've got the info on
I was going to say, not that passive. They've already done mid. LOL able to step up with the triple kills. They come out of the apartments. That's a lot of confidence built up as well on LOL, who's been playing pretty well. Joker wants some action, so he takes his teammate. It will be fast to get the headshot back. Of course, the only AK in play. And Mixwell will try and drop him, but there's pressure elsewhere. There's a kill come through, and Soka will finally have his time to shine. 2 headshots on the FAMAS. It's 9 here from Movistar Riders. Only 1 away from hitting that double figures. And forZe, they have a decision to make. Do they want to buy here or go for the half and get the buy when it's 15-10?
Yeah, I think they... Oh, it's kind of an awkward one. Like, you can basically fully buy, so...
Apart from
kind of feel like you kind of feel like you just want to buy here. Normally, I would say that you should just save until you can get a full buy when you've got such a big lead. But I think this is one of those ones where the buy should probably be good enough. You're not really going to be limited too much. I mean, sending Jerry in first with the Mac 10 could even be beneficial in some positions. So I think I would maybe just prefer them to go for the full buy here. Unless they feel like they need the AWP. That's when maybe you could see them saving again. But generally, teams don't rely on that AWP on the T side of Inferno. And a second timeout used by forZe to talk this one over. They're really having a think here, Dinka.
Big brain plays having to come in, Alex. Obviously, when you get into a high pressure situation on the T side, when you're playing with a stand-in, it can really start to hurt you. But I'm going to go for the decision to buy. There will be the glass cannon on Z part. The rest of them picking up AKs, apart from Jerry. He knew he wouldn't have enough money. He goes to the UMP purchase and picks up the utility around that. So, forZe, this is their time to try and bring it over the line. The buy's not that bad. Movistar's is better, but we'll see if they can do it.
Did not expect the glass cannon AWP to come into play. That's a bit of a risk. Especially on Inferno, there are lots of positions where you can take nade damage, which could definitely add up if Z-Power isn't careful. Currently, though, he's holding in towards mid, where he looks fine for the time being. And forZe start to establish themselves towards the A site. They have apartments control. Next, they will look in towards top mid. And Movistar are not fighting on towards A at all. They are just holding back from that bomb site.
Well, the deep smoke from the CTs has allowed Movistar to take banana control and just kind of push that player down in towards the bottom. This causes problems because he's going to hear the footsteps towards T-Stars and bottom of middle. Kills come in from Soaker as well. FitzCrack will trade back, but Mixwell has the angle towards Archway. FitzCrack is finished off, and for some reason, forZe have just looked completely different here. They're just looking a little very disjointed, very indecisive. Z-Power and Flash, they will pick up 2 kills, but lol, he will find one back. It's all on Z-Power with that glass cannon. Gets into the 1v2, 30 seconds left as he tucks up tail. He has got the bomb, but there's really no other option but to go back towards A at this point. I think they know that, so either save the AWP or go for this.
Don't think he's got time to walk through apartments if he's
got
going
to save.
for it. Yeah,
And
15 seconds.
The most intelligent place to save, the most unpredictable to this, would be right into the lion's den, but that's not really smart.
I don't really understand what he's doing there. If he's saving, yeah, he could probably just go back. If he's going for it, he's got to go quicker. Didn't really make much sense. Maybe he just lost track of the time. I'm not sure, but forZe will lose another round, and this is starting to get a little bit closer here. Although these are the kind of rounds you sometimes need to be scared of when you're the CTs, because forZe will be playing with nothing to fear. They've got the CZs, they've got the Mac 10s. They could definitely go for that run and gun play style. And so Movistar just need to be prepared and make sure they don't get overwhelmed here.
Well, Jerry is going to be sitting back towards second middle. The smoke is at ready to go in towards the A bomb site. Currently, there's 2 players over towards the A site for the CTs, and they're very close indeed. They're playing in front of the smoke, so if they find the kills here on the pistols, they could very easily find themselves in towards A easily here. They'll just have to fend off the retake attempt. There goes a nade damage. It does a little bit onto FitzCrack. They are ready to walk around this corner, and Lowell has stepped up time and time again, but needs to do it again here. AWP inside of the pit can get overwhelmed by the pistols if they charge in towards Mixwell, so really does have to rely on his teammate, but here comes the push. Lowell does the work perfectly, finding the 2 kills, and the rotations coming in from the CT side as well. This is not looking good for forZe at all.
Where's the commitment? Finally, forZe move forwards, but they line up for Mixwell. That is not what they needed. Just seemed like a really strange bit of indecision from forZe there. I mean, sure, your first 2 players have died off, but you've just got to commit to the call at that point. Just got to jump out with the pistols, try and see if you can get the trade. Definitely felt like LoL was always going to be the key player in this round, though, and he absolutely delivered with those 2 kills on the hold. Oh, I think LoL may have thrown a Molotov at the right time. That may have been what slowed them down. We didn't really get to see that.
Well,
but either way,
yeah,
forZe definitely got split up there, and Movistar managed to stop them, and it's a timeout from the CTs, surprisingly.
Because they know there's going to be a full buy coming up from forZe now. The loss bonus is because you can obviously see it on the map, not in spectator. But you can see it when you're playing just around here. There's a new bar added that shows what loss bonus your opponent is on. And so you can realize like they're going to have money. And it kind of takes the guessing out of it as well. You know, like, oh, are they going to have a buy here? You know they're on max loss bonus and they're going to get the buy through. So good tactical pause coming in here from Movistar. Start to talk about how they want to counter this approach. Because they want to just keep this form up. forZe haven't had this like level of buy for ages. I mean, even if you think back to the last buy they had, it still had weaknesses in it. A UMP, a glass cannon. This is definitely looking much better.
Mopoz rocking the MP9, despite Mixwell and himself having money to upgrade if he wanted to. You would think maybe you just want to go for the full rifles, considering the scoreline. Movistar start things with a 4-man A stack. They've done this in most of these rounds now. Not the 4-man stack maybe, but they've generally leaned heavily towards B early to try and get that banana control. And you feel as though if forZe could figure that out, then maybe that A site would be up for grabs early into the round. But I don't think Movistar have really given away that information. And because the rotation has come through, Movistar will start to push down banana as well. They have all the information on the CT side to be ready on this A hold.
Well, here comes the execute in towards the site, Molotov towards the pit where Law will have to throw his smoke to get rid of it. And the push just keeps charging in. It's going to be Soka to pick up the headshot onto Jerry. Flashbang out as well. Mixwell completely blinded by it. Flip will pick the kill up. Face crack there as well. And this might just be it unless Mixwell can step up and a missed shot. That might just cost him. There's only one player left towards long. That is Mopaz. Alex coming back in with AWP from Archway. Bombs planted. Looking so good here for forZe. It's going to take a miracle for Movistar to even find a way near that A-bomb site. And it just won't happen. forZe finally finds success with a change in pace towards the A-bomb site. And it will be a 16-11 final score. And it was hard fought there in the end. forZe definitely showed some cracks. But again, that comes from having an element of a stand-in and perhaps not having that much depth in your strategy on the T side.
A couple of key missed shots in that last round, but that's kind of what costs you at the end of the day. You're always going to have that one round on the Movistar side where maybe you just miss the shot that you should have hit, ends up going against them. forZe get the win, and credit to Movistar for attempting the comeback, but forZe, I think, were just too far ahead from the earlier portion of the game there. Yeah,
indeed. I'm looking forward to our last map of the day, though, Alex, which will be coming up after the break. Make sure you don't go anywhere because we've got the rest of GG.BET Invitational Day 1 after this.